Hello there, a very good afternoon from Jakarta, Indonesia. We come to you now with the final leg of our coverage of the 43rd ASEAN Summit and its related summits taking place here in the capital, Jakarta, Indonesia. Just to sum it all, I'm Rahmat Idris.
And I'm Siska Becker. Both of us are very excited to be here for the last time on the grand stage at Bung Karno Auditorium for the last remaining hours of the 43rd ASEAN Summit and related summits, and hence the last remaining moments of Indonesia's chairmanship in ASEAN. Rahmat, it has been a whole year of diplomatic engagements, regional coordination. It has come down to this day, to this moment, and we are bringing you the final conclusion.
That's right. All blood, sweat, and tears throughout 2023 that we have dedicated on behalf of ASEAN. The chairmanship of Indonesia will finally be marking its legacy in the history of ASEAN. Hopefully, this will culminate into something truly meaningful, addressing some of the most pertinent matters on the table with these leaders attending the summit today. And we have it all for this the last part of the program. Just put it on the table and bring you the recap. In the meantime, let's just begin our special report here on TVR Our World for the closing ceremony of the 43rd ASEAN Summit and its related summit.
Our first report is from the festivities last night attended by the member states of ASEAN and also had delegates where President Joko Widodo, along with the ASEAN leaders and with other heads of state and their spouses, attended last night a gala dinner at the Urban Forest Hutan Kota in Senayan, where the president called on the heads of state and other guests to celebrate togetherness.
In his speech, President Jokowi said Indonesia presented the best work of the country's young generation and invited all guests to sit back and enjoy the ambience.
Good evening. Welcome to the 43rd ASEAN Summit Gala Dinner. I know it's been a long day. We had 6 summit meetings today. But now, let us enjoy this evening and celebrate our togetherness. This evening, Indonesia will present the best work of Indonesian youth. So, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. Thank you.
The gala dinner was a banquet to welcome the leaders of ASEAN and partner countries attending the 43rd ASEAN Summit and related summits in Jakarta. Most of the heads of states donned traditional Indonesian garments known as batik.
Oh wow, Siska, that was such a breathtaking spectacle at the tropical forest in the middle of metropolitan of Jakarta.
Yes, and the show was spectacular indeed, Rahman. I think
you were
Indonesia.
A part of it last night, right?
Yes, with our guest today joining us back in the studio. Very excited to have you back here with us, Prof.
Nice to see you again.
Professor Aryawan Gunadi, an expert in business law and international trading, and also a professor at Tarumanagara University, and also one of the chair of Tarumanagara Foundation. Very busy person indeed, so we are very lucky to have him here with us. Now, I want to ask your opinion, because we didn't have the time to talk actually about your impression about that spectacular evening that we spent together, where the heads of state of ASEAN member states enjoyed such an amazing evening filled with dancing and music and those video mapping show. That was spectacular. What do you think of it, Prof?
Yeah, I agree with you, Ibu Siska, that this is a very prestigious event in this gala dinner, and we see that Indonesia really reach various culture, the dance, right? This shows that Indonesia is a multicultural. We have various people from other provinces, and it shows by the customs, dance, music, and etc. And this is, this gala dinner of the ASEAN Summit we can show to the world that this is Indonesia's, the beautiful of Indonesia, and we can we can show them that we are not only successful in having a presidency G20, but also we have ASEAN Summit 2023. I think this is a great moment, and I'm as an Indonesian, we as an Indonesian must be happy of this. Must be glad of this.
Yeah. Well, Prof, I believe that beyond all of the extravagance and the merriness, the festivity that we witnessed last night for the gala dinner, it also, in a way, says something about what our president said at the beginning of the summit, was that we are a family indeed here in ASEAN, although there have been signs, there have been analysis on the divisiveness of ASEAN. I guess a night of gathering where warmth can be truly seen among all of these heads of states says something about us as not only as an association but as a family, like the President said, the unity is there.
Yes, of course, Pak Rahmat, that Jokowi said as the president, as the government, as the chair of the ASEAN, that we are the ASEAN, we are the families, so we are not only compete each other, like the statement between ASEAN and Korean summit, also when Jokowi lead the meeting with Japan, right, and then they say that we are not only competing each other, but we have to become one family, so between the advanced states and also maybe the development states and also maybe the least developed state, we have to get united because we are a family of, as a member of the ASEAN. And another thing that we have to remember that as a family, we have to support each other, right? Support each other. And that's why the agreement and everything that has been signed, we have eight priority and 8 legacy priority that has been signed. I think this is part of our commitment to support ASEAN and all the members of the ASEAN, for sure.
Okay. Now, Prof. Aryawan, after those fireworks and dancing and music, and the world leaders went back to their residences and had a rest, they were back on the table today to finalize everything they've been discussing for this past year. And now, as we're speaking right now on stage, the 43rd ASEAN Summit is coming to an end, near completion. Have everything been meeting your expectation in terms of resolutions, negotiations, trade agreements? Maybe you can share with us one of your best highlights of the ASEAN chairmanship by Indonesia.
Yes, thank you very much. In my opinion, that I can highlight that, like my last statement, that we have 8 legacy projects that has been signed by ASEAN and Business Advisory Council, that there are some kind of commitment that we have done. The first is that ASEAN QR code, right, that has been leaked. As we know that Indonesia and Thailand also has already done it, and then we will do it with Singapore, Malaysia, and so on. So hopefully there will be an easier transaction between ASEAN members. And secondly, I take notes that we have also marketplace landing platform, right? This is also good because we will have a good community and a good partnership with another ASEAN members. And the third one, ASEAN Wiki Entrepreneur. I think this is a good thing because we can help small medium enterprises in ASEAN. I think this is really helpful. And the fourth one, ASEAN Net Zero Hub. I think this is also good to support, for net zero emissions.
It's and part of the global movement.
Global movement for carbon trading and everything. I think this is also good.
We have some catching up to do though, actually, ASEAN with the rest of the world.
A lot of work to do in that sector. And continue on with the fifth point, please, Professor.
Yes. I think for all the 8 legacy projects include carbon trading, for zero emissions. I think this is part of commitment of the ASEAN's from Advisory Business Council that has been signed. And another else is that as we know that ASEAN also have meetings or submit with several Indo-Pacific, like with Japan, Korea, and etc. I think this is good. Even there, some media say there quite big intention regarding the South China Sea, because of the China using a map 2023. I think that like Pak Jokowi said, we are family. Even Malaysia, Vietnam, maybe Philippines didn't accept it, or maybe refuse or reject the map. I think as one of the members of the ASEAN, we can do it.
Prof, really sorry to cut you off. I think we are ready to
hear
look at the live feed
please,
here because President Joko Widodo has now entered the venue.
Please be seated. At the beginning of this year's chairmanship, Indonesia envisioned an ASEAN that continues to be the epicentrum of growth, maintaining the centrality of ASEAN and the pivotal roles it plays. New futures are imagined where ASEAN matters to its people and to the evolving world. Allow us to invite you all to a stroll down the memory lane of what the ASEAN 2023 stands for and the milestones we have achieved together.
Indonesia's ASEAN chairmanship in 2023 comes at a difficult time, but we embrace this responsibility with full hope and optimism. We are committed to prove that ASEAN matters to our peoples and the world. In Bajo, our chairmanship worked tirelessly to address the most urgent needs of our peoples. From protecting our migrant workers to our fishers, from fighting online scam industries to transnational crimes, from promoting EV ecosystem to One Health initiative. We the peoples, that is how the preamble of the ASEAN Charter starts. It means putting our people's interests above everything. Our chairmanship also wants to take ASEAN to the next level. We introduced ASEAN CONCORD 4 to provide a solid long-term vision for ASEAN 2045. With democracy, human rights, and international law as the pillars, we are working to strengthen ASEAN's agility and capacity in responding to crisis and emergency situations, including by strengthening the decision-making process. We agree to change the name of ASEAN premises in Jakarta to the ASEAN headquarters to reflect ASEAN's determination to strengthen its diplomatic processes for ASEAN's community building and bolster its role as a locomotive for peace, stability, and prosperity in the region. We are transforming ASEAN into an epicentrum of growth, bolstering our regional resilience, including in food, energy, finance, and health sectors, and preparing for the economy of the future, including green and blue economies. Finally, we are translating the ASEAN outlook on the Indo-Pacific into concrete and inclusive cooperation, turning containment into engagement and competition into collaboration. The ASEAN Indo-Pacific Forum held this week produced 93 projects of cooperation with a total value of $38.2 billion. No less than 54 countries now have acceded to the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation. This shows a growing acceptance of ASEAN norms and values. Our chairmanship still have some homeworks to do, including the situation in Myanmar. We have worked hard to encourage a peaceful solution as a family through the 5-point consensus. More than 145 engagements have been done over the past 9 months with various stakeholders in Myanmar, but distrust and differences remain deep. But we cannot give up now. ASEAN will continue to help the people of Myanmar bring back democracy and realize their dream for peace, stability, and prosperity. Thank you for your support for our chairmanship. Our journey is not yet over. We are now handing over the baton of ASEAN chairmanship to Lao PDR. Let us continue walking together towards a better future for our region.
Your Majesty, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, sharing the final remarks of the ASEAN 2023 chairmanship, followed by the official handing over of the ASEAN chairmanship, please welcome on stage the President of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Mr. Joko Widodo.
Sri Baginda,
His Majesty,
Yang Mulia para pemimpin ASEAN, Yang Mulia para pemimpin mitra wicara ASEAN,
ASEAN Dialogue Partners,
Ibu dan Bapak yang saya hormati.
distinguished ladies and gentlemen,
Pertama-tama izinkan saya menyampaikan apresiasi yang tinggi
convey my
kepada
highest
seluruh
appreciation
pemimpin
to all
dan
leaders
undangan yang hadir.
and invitees
Selama
present
3 hari
during
ini,
these 3 days.
12 pertemuan KTT telah
Summit meetings
diselenggarakan dan menghasilkan 90
90
outcome
outcome
documents dan
documents
sejumlah
and a number of
kesepakatan konkret
concrete
dengan
agreements
mitra.
with our partners.
Selama pertemuan saya menangkap
During the meetings,
optimisme
I sensed
dan
sense of
energi
optimism
yang positif
and positive
dari
energy
seluruh yang
from
hadir.
all those who were present.
Jujur saya
I can
katakan
honestly say
ini menguatkan harapan.
This reinforces our
Ini
hopes,
menguatkan semangat
this strengthens
untuk
our
terus
fervor to
melanjutkan perjuangan,
continue our
mewujudkan
endeavor
kawasan yang
in creating
damai,
a peaceful,
kawasan yang stabil, dan
stable,
kawasan yang
and
sejahtera.
prosperous region.
Mari kita
Let
kukuhkan
us
kawasan
strengthen the
Indo-Pasifik
Indo-Pacific region
sebagai teater
as a
perdamaian dan
theater of peace and
inklusivitas.
inclusivity.
Ini adalah
This is
fondasi kunci
the key
yang
foundation
akan mengantarkan
which will bring
ASEAN
ASEAN
ke masa depan lebih baik
to a better
untuk
future
rakyat
for the
dan
people
untuk
of
dunia.
our region and the world.
Inilah esensi
This has
yang
been
dibangun
the
keketuaan
essence built
Indonesia
by Indonesia's
menjadikan
chairmanship,
ASEAN
making
Matters
ASEAN
sebagai
Matter
epicentrum of
as
growth.
the epicentrum of growth.
Tapi tugas kita belum
But
selesai.
our work has
Pekerjaan
not done
besar
yet.
ASEAN tidak
ASEAN's
mungkin selesai
major
dalam
work is
satu
impossible to
keketuaan
finish in
saja.
only one
Kita
chairmanship.
akan terus
We will
menghadapi
continue
beragam
to face
dinamika
a
dan
variety of
kompleksitas
dynamics and complexities
tantangan global.
of global
Untuk
challenges.
itu kita
To that
harus
end, we
bahu-membahu
must continue to
menavigasi
work hand in
tantangan
hand,
menjadi
navigating
peluang,
the challenges into
menavigasi
opportunities,
rivalitas
navigating
menjadi
rivalries into
kolaborasi,
collaborations,
menavigasi
navigating
eksklusivitas menjadi inklusivitas,
into inclusivity,
dan
and
menavigasi
navigating
perbedaan
differences
menjadi persatuan.
into unity.
Kita harus
We
menjadi nahkoda
have to
di kapal
be
kita
captains
sendiri.
of our own ship.
Dan ini saatnya
now
tongkat keketuaan diserahkan
pass
ke
the chairmanship
Laos.
button to Laos.
And now we pass the baton to
And now
Lao
we pass the
PDR.
baton to Lao PDR.
Mari kita terus perkuat
Let us continue to
kolaborasi dan
strengthen
kerjasama untuk ASEAN yang
collaboration
damai dan
and
makmur,
cooperation for a
serta
peaceful and
menjadikan
prosperous
dunia
ASEAN
sebagai
and
tempat
make the world
yang lebih baik untuk semua.
a better place for all.
Sekali lagi,
Once again,
saya mengucapkan terima
I
kasih
thank you
atas
for
dukungan terhadap keketuaan
your support
Indonesia
towards
di
Indonesia's
2023
2023
dan
chairmanship. And
dengan demikian
having said that,
KTT ke-43
I declare
ASEAN dan KTT
the
lainnya
43rd ASEAN
secara
Summit and other
resmi
related
saya
summits
tutup.
officially closed.
Selanjutnya saya
Next,
mengundang Yang
I
Mulia
invite
Sonsai
His
Pundon,
Excellency
Perdana
Sonsai
Menteri
Sipundon, the Prime Minister,
Lao PDR
Lao
untuk
PDR,
meneruskan
to
keketuaan
continue the
ASEAN di
ASEAN
tahun
chairmanship in
2024.
2024.
Allow us to kindly invite the Prime Minister of Lao People's Democratic Republic, Your Excellency Mr. Sonsai Siphandon, to join on the stage. The handing over of the ASEAN chairmanship. This gavel symbolizes the handover of ASEAN chairmanship from the Republic of Indonesia to the Lao People's Democratic Republic. Let us welcome the ASEAN Chair for the year 2024. Your Excellency, Mr. Sonsai Siphandorn, please remain on the stage as we kindly request President Joko Widodo to return to the seat. Now, we would like to cordially invite Your Excellency, Mr. Sonsai Siphandorn, to deliver your remarks.
His Excellency Joko Widodo, President of Republic of Indonesia, Your Majesty, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to extend my warmest congratulations to President Joko Widodo as well as the government and people of Indonesia for successful conclusion of the 43rd ASEAN Summit and related summits. We highly commend an achievement under Indonesia ASEAN Chairmanship with the theme ASEAN Matters, epicentrum of growth. The Laopedia is honored to assume the ASEAN Chairmanship in 2024, and we will build upon the achievement made under the Indonesian ASEAN Chairmanship and success of ASEAN over the past years. We will focus on further consolidating ASEAN community by, and among others, enhancing connectivity and realize to seize opportunity, address challenges, and changing geopolitical and geo-economic landscape. To achieve a more connected and resilient ASEAN, we will continue collective effort in the following amongst others: enhancing ASEAN cooperation, ASEAN external relations, and strengthening ASEAN unity and centrality, involving regional architecture for the regional peace, stability, and development. Enhancing connectivities, narrowing the development gap, promoting carbon neutrality, and advancing digital transformation and economic integration, promoting people-to-people exchanges and cooperation for the climate resilience and health development. The Laopedia stands ready to work closely with all ASEAN member states and external partners to ensure the continued strengthening of ASEAN community and the success of the Laopedia's ASEAN Chairmanship under the theme ASEAN Enhancing Connectivity and Resilience. We look forward to warmly welcoming you on to the Laopedia and the Visit Lao Year 2024. I thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your remarks. We humbly request Your Excellency Prime Minister Siphandorn to return to your seat. Now, we will commence the ASEAN Chairmanship of Lao People's Democratic Republic with a brief visual.
Southeast Asia is a diverse and important region. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, established in 1967 as an intergovernmental regional organization, has embraced 10 diverse Southeast Asian nations into one family of unity in diversity, with common objectives and shared destiny. We would soon welcome Timor-Leste to be the 11th member of our family. Thanks to the ASEAN Way, ASEAN has withstood various tests of time and attained gradual achievements, such as maintenance of peace and stability, promotion of sustained economic integration and growth, and enhanced cooperation for development. The establishment of the ASEAN Community in 2015, comprising the ASEAN Political Security Community, ASEAN Economic Community, and ASEAN Social Cultural Community, has further strengthened regional cooperation and integration for a community that is politically cohesive, economically integrated, and socially responsible. ASEAN has broadened and deepened its relations not only within the region, but also with external partners. The ASEAN-led mechanisms have attracted external partners big and small, including all major powers, to work together with ASEAN for the common course of peace, stability, and prosperity. ASEAN's centrality in the evolving regional architecture has also been supported by external partners. Against the backdrop where the regional and international landscape is experiencing geopolitical and geo-economic uncertainty, the ASEAN community shall be further strengthened with enhanced capacity and capabilities to both respond effectively to challenges and to seize opportunities. The Lao PDR is very proud of having been a member of the ASEAN family since 1997. We have been doing our best to contribute to the common course of ASEAN, including assuming ASEAN chairmanship twice in 2004, 2005, and 2016. In 2024, the Lao PDR is honored to assume the ASEAN chairmanship for the third time under the theme ASEAN Enhancing Connectivity and Resilience. A connected and resilient ASEAN signifies the strengthened three pillars of the ASEAN community by enhancing ASEAN's connectivity, narrowing the development gap, and advancing greater economic integration, promoting more people-to-people exchange, deepening ASEAN relations with its external partners, as well as maintaining ASEAN relevance and ASEAN centrality in the evolving regional architecture. The Lao PDR stands ready to work closely with its fellow members of the ASEAN family and all external partners to ensure the success of the ASEAN chairmanship year and progress of the ASEAN community in 2024 and beyond. We look forward to warmly welcome everyone from near and far to the Lao PDR in 2024, which is also a Visit Laos year. The Lao PDR's ASEAN Chairmanship 2024. ASEAN Enhancing Connectivity and Resilience.
Your Majesty, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, by welcoming the chairmanship of Lao People's Democratic Republic of ASEAN next year, we hereby conclude the 43rd ASEAN Summit and related summits 2023. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the departure of the leaders. Sincerely thank all the delegates for your valuable participation. We hope you had a wonderful time here in Jakarta, and we wish you a delightful journey and a safe arrival back home.
All right, there you have it, the closing ceremony of the 43rd ASEAN Summit and its related summits in Jakarta. It's a bit harrowing, don't you think?
I know, there's a bit of bittersweet sentiments.
Bittersweet moments indeed.
That we're feeling. And the speech itself, the closing remarks by our president was also short and sweet. It was very succinct, but it was really nice of him to first highlighted all the activities they went through for the past 3 days. 12 meetings that resulted in 90 outcome documents.
That is a lot, yeah.
And he appreciated the high enthusiasm and good energy that was shown by all participants. He also mentioned that the work is obviously not done. A lot of work must be continued because global challenges will always come along. And again, he used that analogy of ASEAN as a big ship and that we should be the captain of that ship, navigating our way into the world.
One word that really stuck with me, Siska, was, and also Professor, was the word optimism.
Yes.
So that is something that probably a lot of people out there are expecting from ASEAN. The prominence of ASEAN, the relevance of ASEAN, and all of these crucial homeworks that we are facing, we have the optimism to resolve to go through all that. So what's your biggest takeaway from the moments of the closing ceremony? As I said, the culminations of the year-long chairmanship under Indonesia leadership, Professor.
Yes, thank you very much. So in my opinion is that if we see from the closing ceremony, this is a symbol of Jokowi's speech, I think. And a nice speech also from Jokowi because it combined between last time using English, now using Bahasa Indonesia as a pride of as an Indonesian. And we see also from the speech that Pak Jokowi stressed that peaceful among the Asian members is very important. Because we are, as we say, that we are one family, and we see from the handover of the chair to the Laos, hopefully Laos also may successfully in having the event on the next year. And this is a challenge also for Laos because Indonesia, I think, was successfully in having this event between President G20 and also ASEAN Summit. And don't forget that Pak Jokowi also said that we have to continue because it's not only stop until one chair like Indonesia now, but it has to be continued to another chair. Of course, the another homework for Laos, but I believe that Laos can handle this, right?
And we also need to maintain that sense of continuity, right? As this Professor, meaning that we've done all of this hard work throughout the year, and we've made progress. It's not over, it's not solved, but someone must continue this hard work. Don't let it go or start from zero all over again.
Yes, because ASEAN, they have a vision until 2045.
That's right.
Now 2023, so I think the sustainability is very important.
With the
ASEAN.
With the CONCORD 4 too. I guess we have to congratulate Lao for the chairmanship. It's time to book our tickets to Vientiane.
I know. I think we should learn more actually about Laos People's Democratic Republic, and it was quite interesting to learn the theme for the next chairmanship declared by Lao there, enhancing connectivity and resilience. That is a great slogan, and we could dissect that furthermore. But maybe now let's see a special feature that would let us learn about Laos People's Democratic Republic, the next chair of ASEAN.
The Laos People's Democratic Republic, or Lao PDR, is a landlocked country bordered by China and Myanmar to the north, Cambodia to the south, Vietnam to the east, and Thailand to the west. Laos gained its independence from France on July 19, 1949, only 4 years after Indonesia gained its independence from the Dutch on August 17, 1945. Lao PDR is a social communist government. Laos is one of the few world socialist states that embrace communism. Its political and government system acknowledge one political party, the Lao People's Revolutionary Party. With one-party political system, the General Secretary of the party, who is also the party leader, holds the supreme power over the state and government. The head of state is President Thongloun Sisoulith, who was elected in March 2021. While the head of the government is Prime Minister Soniksai Siphandone. He was elected to the post in January this year, after former Prime Minister Pakam Phiphanah tendered his resignation due to health concerns. Sonexai, aged 56, is one of the youngest prime minister in recent history. Around 70% of Lao PDR's 7.2 million population observe Buddhism, with around 1.5% adopting Christianity, 0.1% adopting Islam, and the remainder follow the traditional faith or practice the so-called satsana. Buddhism has coexisted with local polytheism since its introduction to Laos. The size of Lao PDR economy is approximately $84.4 billion, less than 1/4 of its neighboring Thai of $505 billion. Economic activities in Lao PDR almost ground to a halt due to COVID-19 pandemic. Laos, like many other countries in the world, was badly hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. The economic activity stagnated in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with GDP growing by 0.5%. As this COVID-19 outbreak has not eased, that put pressure on the economic growth in the country in the following year. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. With COVID-19 pandemic faded away now, Lao PDR gross domestic product is expected to rebound to more than 3% this year, driven by the influx of tourists from China and an increase in cross-border trade supported by the Lao-China Railway. Laos tourism sector alone accounts for around 1.2% of its GDP, generating more than $230 million in 2020. Apart from tourism, the Lao economy is partly driven by its agriculture. Most Laotians live in rural areas, with around 80% of them working in agriculture, mostly growing rice. The country aspires to be battery of Southeast with its ambition to build hydropower plants. The Lao government has laid out a plan to make hydropower its biggest source of revenue in 2025. The Lao language is the country's official language. With more than half of its population speak the native Lao, while Laotians who live in the rural areas, mostly farmers, speak ethnic minority languages. As the country pursues its reform, it has been a challenging time for the country over the past 3 years since the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Lao PDR became a member of the ASEAN in July 1997, right at the center of the Asian monetary crisis. Lao will chair the 2024 ASEAN chairmanship after Indonesia's chairmanship in 2023. That would be the third time for Lao PDR to chair the ASEAN. Laos was chair of ASEAN in 2004 and in 2016.
So there you have it. Lao PDR assumes ASEAN chairmanship with a very interesting slogan, enhancing connectivity and resilience. Now, Prof. Aryawan, this is in line with what you said last night when we asked you, what do you think is the biggest homework of ASEAN? You said about connectivity and integration. Those are the things that needs to be realized quick to actually, realize all those dreams and ambitions that was put forward by the ASEAN state leaders, especially during the Indonesian chairmanship. So what do you think of this new slogan that they've put forward, enhancing connectivity and resilience? Can you maybe reiterate all those key issues that you mentioned last night once again?
I think Bu Siska, this is a nice slogan. Congratulations to Laos, become the chairman of the ASEAN for 2024. And this is the third time of Laos become the chair. First one is 2004, 2016, and now 2024. And this is the challenge of Laos. And as I heard that Laos, the president and prime minister have already prepared everything for the accommodation, before the Asian Summit for next year. They prepare everything since now because they see that Indonesia has already prepared everything.
Yeah.
And second, regarding the slogan of the ASEAN connectivity, what Laos wants is that same like the vision of Indonesia, that they want to connect between of the Asian members, because as we know that they are not integrated. It's not fully integrated. That's why they make a 8 legacy project, as I said. From the economic side, they built ASEAN QR codes. They built an integrated small medium enterprises. So that is not it's not developed only by the every local country, but also they can bring on into the bigger scale. I think this is good, and it can be integrated. And we have also ASEAN connectivity between among the members. I think this is also good, and there will be a good collaboration. So this ASEAN member is not a rival anymore. So they become a family, they become a friends, and helps another country, which is needed.
And more cohesive, working together as one machine instead of on their own. Now, there's one point that was really interesting put forward by Prof. Aryawan. I think I would mention this again. You were in favor of a single currency in ASEAN. Can you explain to us again why do you think this would be a good thing for ASEAN, and do you think Laos should pursue this in their chairmanship?
I think this is the big homework. Because like European Union now, they have a single currency. They have euro. Like what ASEAN wants is that one day they have also one single currency that used by some members country, the whole region. But it's not easy. But they want to step more. They use a local currency now that can be used maybe with among the members of the ASEAN. So that's why they make some kind of commitment. They have a agreement that can be used from among the members of the countries of the ASEAN. I think start from the local currency, and one day, hopefully, there will be one single currency that used by ASEAN. But also, this is a challenge for Laos, because it will be discussed. Also, maybe they will put one agenda of the transformation of digital transformation. This is also one agenda in the Asian Summit in Indonesia. And maybe they will put, another agenda. We will see it, because they have 3 agendas in Indonesia. Rebuild, digital transformation, and the third one is sustainability.
Just a couple of days, Professor, prior to our summit here in Jakarta, another notable progress and achievement has been made here in Jakarta, which is the signing to start the negotiations on the Digital Economy Framework Agreement, the DEFA. What have you learned about this in terms of further boosting our ways in finding common currency and accelerating businesses across the region?
As I said, that we have also in 8 legacy priority, they have also want to develop from the Business Advisory Council, they want to build business more, comfortable among the Asian countries. So that's why they built, to support the Asian, small medium enterprises. They can use by another country in the ASEAN, and also they the DEFA itself, they want to implement that agreement, because as we know, they signed many agreements regarding digital transformations. And we see from the implementation of this, and we wait. The concrete action, like Pak Jokowi said, is not only by one chair, but maybe it will be continued with another chair, like Laos and etc.
Now, more on the digital transformation issue, you said this is one of the key factors in realizing the ASEAN integration and connectivity. How do you think a full digital transformation would help realizing also the matter of fair trade? You mentioned earlier what is important, not to have free trade in the region, but fair trade. You also mentioned the importance of having go through the trade agreements between ASEAN and other partner countries to make sure that everybody has equal footing in all of these trading agreements. Maybe you can elaborate on that, Prof.
Of course, fair trade is one of big issue now, because in ASEAN, we have ASEAN Economic Community. We have Asian Economic Community Blueprint that we want to have a single market. We don't have any other barriers among the ASEAN members. But also we have to remember that digital transformation is very important. So that's why we have to put one single system that acknowledge in ASEAN members. So how to get the fair trade, among the Asian members? So balancing is very important.
Okay.
So equilibrium is also very important.
Okay.
Fairness is very important.
Okay.
That's why what we call it is that in achieving the fair trade is that there must be equal balance among the transaction of the member state of the ASEAN.
Could you be more specific, Prof? What do you mean by being more balanced? What is the equilibrium that we need to achieve?
Yes.
What is it exactly?
Yes, the equilibrium.
What do you call fair, basically?
Yes. Because you know that like Indonesia, like Singapore, Malaysia, they have to compete with, with another ASEAN members,
Okay.
Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, which is now in violence and conflict.
Okay.
But they have also, because they have an agreement with United States, they have agreement with China, with Russia, they have to compete with each other.
Okay.
That's why what President wants is that it's not just only competition. We're families, so we have to, help each other, help another ASEAN members to support them, economic and everything. Yes.
But is that even realistic, Professor? Because one of the biggest homework in ASEAN is to balance out economic growth. We know that the first 5 of the ASEAN countries are at this level of economic prosperity, while the other 5 still have a lot of homework to catch up on. Not to mention Timor-Leste joining us hopefully next year. That's another big homework for ASEAN, welcoming a new member that we need to bring along for this growth.
And strengthening the region furthermore.
Exactly. So how do we go about this, Professor?
Yes, of course.
Ideally.
This is interesting because we will have an ASEAN new member like Timor-Leste. So as I said before, that Indonesia and especially ASEAN have to get benefit also for the applying of Timor-Leste become the Asian members of the infrastructure, manufacture and everything.
Okay, Prof, it's very interesting, but we're just gonna take a look now. We are going to go to where the president is going to address the audience for the last press conference of the ASEAN Summit. I think
there you have it. That is the media center of Jakarta Convention Center here in the capital, where we are moments away from the scheduled press conference delivered by the President of Indonesia, Joko Widodo, to the members of journalists. We know that we've been listening in to the closing ceremony, all the highlights of the meeting, the numbers of projects, where we believe there are a lot of burning questions in the minds of journalists, domestic and international alike, that they would like to get answers from the presidents. And moments away now, we believe this is the very venue where presidents will lay it all bare on the table.
Yes, exactly.
So to speak.
Now, as good as the speech was delivered by President Joko Widodo at the closing ceremony, it was more normative statements.
Exactly.
So we are expecting more details about resolutions, about key deliverables, hopefully, in this press conference, because I think that's what the media would be after. They want to know exactly what will be the next guidelines for Laos to pursue.
That's right. And on the note of Laos, Hiska, I'd like to go over to Professor while we wait for the arrival of President again. Just share with us, Professor, your thoughts on the current role and positioning of Laos in the economic constellations of ASEAN.
Yes, as we know that, as I said, this is the third time of Laos to become the chair of ASEAN, 2004, 2016, and the situation now has changed. After pandemic situation, become the chair of the ASEAN 2024. The biggest challenge is that, as we agreed, that economically, if we see the 5-star of the economic growth, Vietnam is number 1, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and etc. So this is the challenge of Laos, to become a good host, not only Indonesia, but they can show that even economically it's not qualified as 3 big economic growth, but they can show it as good as Indonesians, I think. This is a challenge for Laos, I think.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, I want to break down more of the slogan that was put forward by Laos as the next chair of ASEAN. Connectivity, we've already discussed it. Resilience is the next word in that slogan. And I think it's interesting to note why they use that particular word. But first, let's just look at the venue at the media center there. We was just informed that the president has just entered the venue. Let's just make sure that we don't miss any of the statements.
Right. Yeah, just not yet. But
Okay.
there have been quite some crowds there at the
Yes.
entrance, where we believe that probably it's the chief
Yeah.
of staff of the president,
Yeah.
Muldoko, making sure that everything is in order before the president makes his entrance into the
Some
venue.
ruckuses going on there near the entrance, preparing for the
Right.
arrival for the president. Hopefully, any time now. So, Prof, if you don't mind, we can continue our conversation
Resilience.
on the matter
Why
of
the
resilience.
word? Yeah.
Maybe it's because of the food security issue that is
Exactly.
happening.
I was thinking that.
And it's going to be
Energy,
even bigger. Energy.
resilience, yeah.
Yes.
And also climate change is also going to be a big
Exactly.
issue.
It's a
No,
grave matter there, climate change.
Exactly,
It's the
but-
hottest year.
Yeah.
Even hotter predicted next
And is
year.
Laos up for this?
Exactly.
These are big issues. And Laos, as you said, is one of the still developing countries in the ASEAN
You're right.
region. How do you think Laos should pursue this?
Yeah. Regarding of the resilience, that
Yeah.
if we see that food security is one of the issue,
Yeah.
right? That another challenge that Indonesia, one of the largest producer of rice, example,
Yeah.
but have a challenge, they still import. And Laos also same, they have another challenge because they're still, depending on some imported products, goods and services from another ASEAN members.
Yeah.
And also regarding the climate change, also same. Even they signed some of another climate change agreement.
Okay.
But the challenge is that how to implement that agreement. Carbon trading also
Carbon
the same.
trading,
yeah.
Carbon trading. So energy, as you said, this is also a challenge. Green energy also the challenge. So I think from all this we can see that Laos trying to prepare everything. That's why the preparations and everything before having a ASEAN summit is very important. So everything must be ready, and they're ready for another challenge.
Yeah. Well, Laos, same as the case as Indonesia and a few other member states of ASEAN, Professor, have been trying so hard to get out of this so-called middle income traps.
You're
What's
right.
exactly the strategy region-wide for us, not only domestically in our country, but something that a lot of these ASEAN nations can adopt and grow together in line with the theme that will be changed moments from now to the Laos chairmanship?
Yeah. As I said, that this is the biggest challenge of Laos, and actually I'm happy. I'm glad because they are appointed as the chair of the ASEAN.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not just only go back to Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, but as you said, another developing country like Laos also can become.
Singapore, where we earn a lot of money.
Yes. Singapore must be ready in having this kind of
Yeah.
conference and everything. But Laos, another challenge because how they prepare and how they serve all the delegations, they prepare everything for this. I think we as the Indonesia have to support, but we will see what President Joko Widodo will have this press conference.
Okay.
What kind of support that we can support for Laos because Indonesia have many experience, not other country have it as
Okay.
G20 and chairman of the ASEAN.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back to
So
back.
I think
back to back
yes,
too.
I think this is a good moment for Pak Jokowi,
Okay.
for him, I think,
Yeah.
for Indonesia especially.
All right. Now, let's talk about challenges. I think it's safe to say one of the challenges that Indonesia faced during its chairmanship was the geopolitical tensions that kept happening throughout the chairmanship. We wanted to put forward a more economic agenda, but that was hindered by all this geopolitical squabbling that kept happening, the Myanmar conflict and then the South China Sea dispute.
Yes.
What do you think would be the challenges for Laos next year? Would this be the same issues going over again for them? Or
Yeah, I think.
what's your prediction?
Yeah, still same because not only as you said, Myanmar conflict violence.
Yeah.
We have also even it's not it's not like Russia-Ukraine war.
Yes.
Also,
Still
it's-
going on.
Yeah, big impact. Inflation in United States and everything. Also, there will be impact. And also another of China South Sea conflict. Also, there will be there's also another challenge for Laos. So the job of ASEAN is that how to implement all the agreements. They have 12 Asian meeting on these 2 days. So hopefully they can implement, and can support Laos on handling this kind of challenges and cases, I think.
Right. Apparently, Professor, we have come to the end of our time for our special program of the closing ceremony of the summit, and the press conference of President Joko Widodo to the members of the press later on will be aired during our following program of a primetime bulletin, Focus Today, coming to you in just a few minutes. In the meantime, would like to get just final words for you, very briefly, Professor, to sum up our achievement and progress and how proud we are of the year-long chairmanship of Indonesia.
Yes, we as Indonesia must be proud because finally we can, finish all the, the ASEAN summit successfully, and pride of Indonesia, they can show to the people that we have many various, traditional customs, traditions of music, dance, and everything that can show to the public. Then how rich of Indonesia, how we are integrated each other between ASEAN members, and Pak Jokowi and the government can support all the Asian members. They can unify all the Asian members. I think this is very good, and this is a good example for another ASEAN members. But hoping that actually I hope discuss with Ibu Siska. Joe Biden, last time Xi Jinping can come, but it's okay. The Vice President already come. Delegation of China already come. But at least it shows the world that peaceful is very important in this world. I think this is good. Congratulations for Indonesia, for sure.
Yes. Loving the optimistic tone of your closing remarks, Prof. Aryawan. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much
for coming in here to our studio.
It's an honor.
Always appreciate your time and your expertise here. And hopefully we get to see each other again soon in other programs on TVRI World. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much.
Once again, expert in business law and international trade, Professor Dr. Aryawan Gunadi. Many thanks for your insights.
Thank you very much
for the final program. And in the meantime, we have to close our entire programmings, 4-day-long coverage of the 43rd ASEAN Summit and its related summits here from the capital, Jakarta, Indonesia. And finally, for the summit, I'm Rahmat Idris.
And I'm Siska Becker. Stay tuned to TVRI World for further report on the result of the 43rd ASEAN Summit and related summits. Until then, take care and goodbye.
Bye.